I think what's going to be exciting is to hear the orchestra do something outside of, Concerto de Orchestra by, Bartok. Any great art, I think accessibility is important. But I think folks are going to see me having fun, the conductor having fun. It's just like laying down on a lush pad of sound. And there's nothing quite like that. Nothing quite like that. Lamento Borincano, composed by Rafael Hernandez from Puerto Rico. Folks might go, well, how does that fit into this? Rafael Hernandez was a member of James Reese Europe's military ensemble based in New York City, playing a music that was a mixture of American and French marches, ragtime music, spirituals, plantation songs, but in a completely wholly new style. They were basically swinging it, and that had never been heard of. We're talking about 1918 here. And in that ensemble, there were 19 members from Puerto Rico who were part of that ensemble. Early jazz or early ragtime music in New York City in the early part of the 20th century, there were already many Latinos in New York and Washington, D.C. And I think James Reese Europe's connection with recent arrivals from Puerto Rico into the United States helped them to realize that there were very good musicians in Puerto Rico. And in 1917, the Jones Act made it so Puerto Ricans can receive American citizenship. He was playing the valve trombone in that ensemble. There were many different, there were clarinetists, percussionists from Puerto Rico that were in this, let's take a marching band, a military marching band, but now they're playing music that is completely different than anything that Americans or Europeans had ever heard before. The song Lamento Borincano speaks of our traditions in Puerto Rico and how they are changing. It's kind of bittersweet, but it was important for me to include something by a Puerto Rican composer amidst the Johnny Mandels and the Thelonious Monks. There are so many people that go, oh, well, jazz is, I listen to classical music. And I'm like, yeah, and so what? So do I. And I have a lot of recordings as well. I just think it's important to take the genres out of your head and just listen. I could listen to Shostakovich and listen to Ellington right after it. I'm not switching gears in my head of like, click, okay. But by the same token, I can listen to Shostakovich, Duke Ellington, and then listen to Ralph Stanley from the Stanley Brothers. If it's real, it's real. Coltrane, if it's real, it's real. And don't get me wrong, if I listen to disco music and it's dancing and everybody's dancing, I'm not listening to that like if it's Shostakovich. I'm just listening to that to get my groove on,